All right, today we're going to show you how to do what I call a bird's nest. Now, if you've got trees like this, cedar trees on your properties that you hunt, or any kind of thick tree like that that's really limby, you know, a lot of the pines do that, even some of the smaller cottonwoods and things. Tons of small limbs, willows will do this. You can get up in there. It's hard to get cut in, but you cut a route to get that stand up to the top. Once you get up in there, a little bit of trimming, and man, it's like you're sitting on top of a little nest, completely covered except for your perfect shooting lanes. Makes it super easy to get drawn on deer when they're coming out. This particular spot I've been wanting to put a stand in for probably about 4 or 5 years, and it's really kind of a nondescript area by the looks of it, but on our property, this is a really secluded area. You know, there's not a food plot out here yet. There will be probably next year when I get the money saved up. But really, they're just using this area for 2 reasons. And number one is because it has great proximity to the neighboring properties with cover. So it's a travel route. It's kind of a little funnel through here. But also, as you can see, a bedding area. Now, I didn't want the deer to be currently bedding underneath the stand the tree that I'm going to set the stand in, but you know, that just happened to be the case this morning. They bed all over out through here. You know, every one of these little valleys in here has thick areas that they'll get underneath these trees and bed in. So I'm going to put a stand up here. As you can see, it's super dense right now, but once I get it cut in, get that stand up in there, it's going to be perfect. So this is going to be the entrance here. I'm going to come from back that direction where the road is, about 100 yards away. Ease in through here. Come in. Ladder base will be right here, and it's going to go straight up the tree right through there. That's going to be the tricky part. I got to limb out an opening just big enough to get that stand up in there without taking away too much cover. I still want to be hidden real well when I get up there. So I got to be really selective on the branches that come down. Anything small that's going to pick up scent when you walk in, try and nip that stuff out. That's not going to be providing any cover for the stand, but it will catch your scent every time you come in. Now, another great thing about hunting out of a cedar tree, they're extremely aromatic. You'll notice that you go into some of the hunting aisles, you'll see scent killers that are eastern cedar, white cedar, different things like that. It's because it smells awesome, really potent, and it'll help block your scent too. So versus just hunting out of a regular cottonwood or something, if you can get something like this, pine, cedar, every little bit of that's helping reduce your scent because the deer have to fight through the cedar to smell you. Now we're starting to get a little bit of an opening up here. Time to bring in the big tools. Start clearing some of this stuff out a little bit higher up. Hopefully I don't drop a limb on the old camera here. Now the trick is going to be getting these dudes down because they're going to fall on this big canopy of cover that I'm leaving in here. So as I get a little bit higher up, I'm going to actually take the time to climb up. It's like steps in here, no problem to climb up, hook a little rope onto the base of these. That way once you get them cut, you can grab that rope and walk out and you'll pull it right out with you. I'm just not going to do that with the camera directly underneath the limb. When the stuff gets cut down, don't drag it out and throw it out in the front unless you absolutely have to. Pile it up off to the sides inside your little tunnel here, because that'll just give you more cover when you're slipping into the stand. That extra little chance that maybe they won't see you because you got some of this extra stuff on the ground here. Now, as you can see, got it opened up quite a ways, and I'm thinking right above that saw there, where that broken piece is probably about where the stand's gonna sit. It could be a little bit taller. I might need to take off a couple more limbs up there, but I'm gonna wait till we get her up there and actually see what's going on. So now comes the hard part. Should always do this with another person. I'm just gonna pretend like there's another person here, so ignore this part. But I've had to do this quite a bit by myself. Trees like this with all these limbs, it's pretty easy to do this. So I'm gonna get the first half or 2/3 of the stand up in the tree. Once I get that up there, then I'll bring in the base. We'll lift up the top, get that hung up, put the base on, lower it back down. It's pretty easy, but should follow the directions. So right now, just gonna leave it like that. Obviously, it's not hanging the greatest. What I'm gonna do though is climb up the back side here in just a second, get up to the top, pull it up another 5 feet, 5 or 6 feet, something like that. Get it attached up there securely, and then I'll bring in the bottom, hook it in, and then lower it back down. All right, as you can see, got it hooked up, roughly strapped at top, strapped for good at the bottom here. I'm going to go back up and redo the top strapping, just tighten it up just a little bit according to what's happened down here. All right, that was a lot of work. As you can see, I'm up in the tree now, all locked in. Did some trimming right here so I can lean back against the tree comfortably. And you know, I should be wearing a safety harness, but as you can see, I mean, it'd be harder than a Plinko chip falling through to fall through all that stuff down there and hit the bottom. When I'm hunting, definitely gonna be wearing one. But in this particular situation with all these limbs underneath me, while I'm getting things set up and moving up and down, I don't have it on, but I will have it on once I'm in a hunting scenario. Now, as you can see, the area out front here, darken that up just a little bit. The area out front here is wide open because that's the area that I had to cut the stand in. So I had to remove all the limbs right through that area there, which does leave it wide open. And as you can see, there's a deer trail that cuts right through there. So deer will come through here. This is my weakest spot as far as visibility. However, I purposely picked this side here as my entrance because, you know, the deer do come through here, but very rarely compared to over here. This is my actual shot opportunity for the most part over here. So I'm kind of blind over here, but I can see them coming from a long ways if they're coming through, and I'll have an easy shot there. So now what I'm gonna have to do is go through here and cut out just a little window right there, and then I'm going to leave this tall stuff right here. That way if I need to make a movement while they're cutting across or behind it, I can. I'm going to open up a little shooting window right in here, little shooting window right in here, and we're not taking out many branches. And just in case something gets behind me, I'm going to open a little window back in through here. Now in all these shots, as you can see, I'm actually sitting down, so I can still stand up and be able to move and get myself around some of these openings to change my shot opportunity if needed. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to start cutting these little windows here with the pole saw. Just go small, try and reduce as little as possible and see how it looks, and then we'll get out and we'll check it from where the deer's level is going to be and see what it looks like. All right, so that's what you want to do right there. Just open up a few little windows. Every time they're behind this, I can move. Behind this, I can move. Same thing here. I've got a shooting lane over here where my entrance is. Got a little shooting window there, shooting window here, and a shooting window over here. That's all I really need, but I am going to open up a little back spot here in case I miss an opportunity that I can get a shot back through here if needed. But chances are that won't happen, because if they're coming through here, I should have already shot by here or here. So that's how you do it. The bird's nest, we'll get down, take a look from the outside so you can see what it looks like when you're up in here, other than this one area where I have to enter and get the stand in. My shooting lane's off to my left on a right-handed shooter, so my swivel is all off towards this side over here. That's where my windows are, and also where all this great cover is. So this here is what I call the bird's nest, eagle's nest stand. It takes a big, thick tree like this, a ton of work, sweating my butt off. Once you get it set up though, it's good to go for years with just a little bit of trimming here and there. And man, I'm telling you what, it allows you to film really easily, get away with movement if you need to. You can slip in here, good cover. I'll get this food plot put out here one of these years, and man, we're gonna get a nice deer or two out of this spot over the years for sure. Whew. Be nice to do this when it's not 95 degrees.